This video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video.
All right. April 9th, UFC 273's co-main event is Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling rematch, number 2, for the belt. And Petr is the interim champion after beating Corey Sandhagen because Aljamain pulled out of the rematch with a mysterious injury. I remember hearing it on the MMA Hour. He said he's not like injured physically. His gas tank, since he's had an operation, couldn't allow him to go for more than 4 or 5 minutes, which was bizarre. But hence interim champion brought in. It's did
he pull out again after getting the neck surgery?
Yes. Yeah, so that's why it's been prolonged for an additional 5 months, I think.
Yeah.
I think 6 months. Yeah, November 30th, end of last year. That's a long time to be called off again, but hey, you want him healthy, don't you? You don't want to see someone with a tweaked neck going against Petr Yan. This to me is going to be an insane rematch anyway, because there's a lot of bad blood now, especially with how it was won last time. Aljo obviously giving the best Oscar performance ever, winning the belt. I think as well, you got your own opinions about this. I think he did the right thing in taking the belt. I think he did the wrong thing in milking it and pissing everybody off that way, because he could have just taken...
Do you think he did milk it then?
Yeah, absolutely. When he started whining on the floor and and he left the belt in there as well. He left the belt, I don't accept this belt. And then 10 minutes later, he's got a picture of the belt, I'm the champ. And he's fine. And
I think he kind of had to, though, I think, didn't he? No, it is your belt.
Yeah, exactly. But he's pictured with Marab at the back and he's just enjoying life now. And he goes, oh, I am the champ. And it's fair enough. Yeah. He did well. He had a very good opening 2 rounds. Very similar to Corey Sandhagen. Moved really well. Put Petr on the back foot almost, which not many people could do. And used pure cardio, essentially. Pushed the pace to an unbelievable level where nobody can maintain that. And he did really well because Aljo's as slick as they come on the mat. He's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. But striking-wise, he's not close to Petr Yan, in my opinion. But he does have the range. He does have the length. He's got long limbs. He's very similar to Corey Sandhagen in that sense. I think the approach to him is going to be similar coming into this as Corey had against Petr, which was a lot of movement, a lot of fakes. Get inside, land heavy hooks as well. And then you have to almost... The way he did it is he exited with the calf kicks to back out of range again. Otherwise, you're really in trouble. If you stay in that pocket with Petr Yan, I think that's his world. And there's not many... I don't think there's any bantamweight that can kind of strike with him. And I don't think you want to. I think that's a bad game plan. But what's your thoughts on how Aljo's approach is going to be into this?
Yeah. I think looking... Obviously, it was the 4th round with the knee that ended the last fight.
Yeah. And
the success Aljo had in that fight was because of sort of the insane pressure he was putting on in the first round, especially, and then a little bit dwindling off in the second.
Yeah.
But you could obviously see Petr Yan was coming more and more into his game as the fight went on, and obviously we'll never find out what happened because obviously how the fight ended. But I just think it's fairly obvious the direction I think it was going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fairly obviously, if the knee hadn't happened, I think we could have seen how that fight would have ended, with obviously Petr Yan just stepping up more and more and potentially getting the finish. But I think it's the question is, how have they sort of both fighters come on since that fight? And I think Petr Yan's just got he's obviously fought Corey Sandhagen since then. Another top contender that deserves to be at the top of the division, and I think he'll have just gained a lot more experience than Aljo has, obviously having to take time off because of surgery, like you were saying, and other various injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the reason as well. I say that I think he has to come into this more like Corey Sandhagen did. Is because of one reason, and that's I think it was 18 failed takedown attempts against Petr Yan as well. which shows how good he is at defending takedowns. You know, you don't really think of him as there's not many bantamweights that wrestle. To be honest, Merab's one, but you know, TJ Dillashaw doesn't wrestle. You know, Corey doesn't wrestle. They're all. It's a pure. Well, to be honest, mostly strikers in the division. Aljamain is as good as they come when it comes to taking the back. That was clearly his game plan into the first one. Didn't reach out. Used a lot of energy trying to get Petr to the floor. Petr looked like nothing defending them. Punished him on the exits. And then, as you said, the fight just kind of just tilted towards him. You know, late second round, third round, definitely Petr. Fourth round was definitely Petr until the illegal knee, which I think it was the coaches there was miscommunication. He didn't know whether to strike or not, was the narrative that's been played. And then we didn't see a fifth, but we all know it. Like Aljo coming back and turning it up, the only way he could have won that round was with the round one pressure again. He was dwindling away. The likelihood was it was going to be like 3 rounds to 2, perhaps, for Petr Yan.
Do you think you would have given Petr Yan the second round then, do you think?
You see, you could even argue that, yeah. You could even argue 4 rounds at that point if you went all the way.
I think it's a tough one because even sort of, it's one of them where Aljo was putting all the work in them first 2 rounds, but he wasn't getting anything back from it. And what Petr Yan was doing was being very effective. Yeah,
I think that's a really good thing there. So against Corey Sandhagen, for example, Corey Sandhagen used all movement, calf kicks, got into range, landed his shots, got out of range before Petr could even do anything. Petr started calf kicking him. Round 2 turns around. Suddenly it's a lot more closer fight. And he just took over. And that's what he kind of does, doesn't he? He's almost like Thanos. He just kind of obliterates you bit by bit until he's very actually similar to Canelo in how Canelo fights in boxing. You know, he's willing to give up like the first couple rounds to then just decimate you for the rest of the 10. I think that's Petr's plan. He might have that Anderson Silva feeling out process again with the first round. Just let him just blow his wad. Go crazy, mate. And I'll take over from here afterwards.
Well, that's something I wondered about this next fight, because obviously, like similar to the Corey Sandhagen fight, you see he often spends that first round just sort of working his opponent out. But I wonder if he'll need to do that again, obviously haven't already faced Aljo. You watching a match lost?
Will you have to download that data going into it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure he will. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Petr Yan come out much more aggressive than last time, not giving him off the hook. Again, there's a bit of bad blood in this. I don't know if he's holding a grudge to how he lost that fight. He's got a loss on his record because of himself, but he could have taken the Anthony Smith route versus John Jones and just carried on. You know you're fine. Anthony Smith could have been champion and John Jones could have had a second L. But he didn't, because that's not how you want to win the belt. Aljo was more than happy to win the belt like that. Fair play to you. You know, you've worked your ass off all your life for it. So
I think the sort of question is how hurt actually was he? Do you know what I mean?
think he was initially really hurt. I think that was a sharp knee, but then he recovered very quickly and realized I can just get up. I don't want to. Because I've got to go back to that. I've got to go back to that guy marching me forward, landing those the left body hook, which was landing all day. I'm going to try and take him down. He's going to stuff the takedown, kick me in my legs. And
I think
the run he's on.
The reason people question it as well is like, I think the reason people question it is because it looked like almost right just before that knee happened. It looked like that was the point Aljo's cardio was beginning to really, really drop. That's like when he looked like he was beginning to really struggle. And the commentators were saying, he looks like he's out of this, not out of it, but he's really beginning to fall out of this.
Yeah.
And then the knee happened. I think that's why people sort of question the authenticity of it so much.
As soon as it goes south, he kind of gave up. It's hard to say and that's the thing, we'll never know for sure, so it's just subjective speculation. But like the run Petr Yan was on before that, they're all late stoppages, to be honest. They're either decision wins or round 3. He knocked Uriah Faber out. It took him till round 5 against Aldo, and you think Aldo came out the gate, first 2 rounds, smashing his legs to bits, standing in that pocket as he does, he plods forward, sticks his feet in, and just hooks to the body, hooks to the head over and over again. broke him down, wore him out, and that is Petr Yan style. I think this is going to go decision personally.
Yeah.
And I think Aljo is going to steal a round or two, but not enough. I just don't think anyone on the planet can beat Petr Yan right now at bantamweight. That's my personal view.
I think Petr Yan's going to win, but I think it'll be by stoppage.
Oh,
and I think after the last one, he wants to come out and make a bit of a statement with it. Yeah. I think he's not going to want him to let it get to a decision.
Another illegal knee, or
an illegal stoppage, not an illegal one this time.
How do you see it playing out then? Late rounds again?
Yeah, just not, I think it'll go a similar route with him maybe taking a round or two just to sort of get a read on Aljo. Yeah. But round 4 or 5, just I can't really say how we'll get the stoppage, we say. Yeah, on the feet of his hands.
But no matter what, we're both picking Petr Yan in this one, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I love it. I hope he gets his belt back as well.
Yeah. He's got the interim at the minute, hasn't he?
He does. So it's a unification.
Yeah.